Hello, Rand. There's media stream is working. Hello, Zylander. Hello, T-Cube. My day's been a lot of sleeping. For those who haven't seen the Discord or read the title, I'm feeling under the weather. Hello, Aaron. So I might be a little low energy compared to normal, but I don't feel so under the weather that I feel like I couldn't still stream, so I'm still streaming. I feel like after the 3+ years I've been doing stuff involving recording / streaming when sick, I figured when I can do it and when I can't do it. I've yet to reach the point of I can't do it. At least with this cold or whatever it is. The way it's hit me, I don't think it's exactly a cold, but I feel like it's just a cold at the moment, and yeah, that's how this works. Hello, Nihilus Man. Also, I just want to know, unless we get enough people for a private battle, it's probably going to be just turf until the map rotation, because I'm not playing Clan Blitz. I might play some ranked. I want to make sure I can actually play the game first. Because I am a little lightheaded. Now let's see if I can actually play and do things like normal. Ow. The stream will be anywhere between 2 and 6 hours. And it's just getting started now, so. After the map rotation, I am perfectly okay with doing some league battles. Just not, I don't want to play Clan Blitz. Yeah, I've noticed, Nautilus Man. Hope you've been doing okay. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna die again. I absolutely hate Clan Blitz. That's why I said I'm perfectly okay with it after the rotation, but not before. I might, if there's enough people that want to play, I might consider it. But I am playing like garbage. Jeez. Though I usually play like garbage my first match of the night, so, you know, where's the difference? If I had some certainty of cover, I would consider using my inkjet, but I don't know where they are, and I have no... You know what? I'll just use it here. Yeah, that kind of worked out. Kind of. Expect coughing a little bit. Hello, Justin. I'm not exactly to the phase of being sick where I'm coughing much, so it shouldn't be that common of a thing, unless talking a lot ends up making me cough more. To be fair, you never really know how good you are at a game mode until you start getting to, like, S. Just because of how the ranks work with Splatoon 2. S is the new A, if that makes any sense. And I feel like I should just be using this one. I feel like I shouldn't be using the Spleesh at all. Just grab a splatter shot. As generic as possible. I see Mariah's around, even though I don't think they've chatted yet. Oh, there they are. Saw them in the lobby, but not in the chat. Might have just been restream, hadn't showed me. Nice, Cylinder. I just call them coins. Because they are basically just coins. Oh, jeez. I killed an egg lord. I don't know how I feel about this. He didn't deserve that. He is just the Lord of Eggs. I don't know. I hope she's doing alright. I'm sure she'll show up at some point. That seems pretty normal for cats there, Nautilus Man. They are just destructive little forces of nature. It's almost as like they're kind of tiny murder machines. And they just really like destroying anything they get a chance to destroy. Ow. Ow. They either sleep or destroy things. And if you don't think they're very destructive, it just means you haven't found whatever they want and like to destroy. Ow. I hate dualies. I have no idea who those people are, Zylander. Our cat will be the sweetest little thing. 1 minute. and then, like, the next. Like, say she'll be just lying on your chest, being the sweetest little thing. And then the next minute, she'll just be slapping you in the face because you've done something she doesn't like, and good luck figuring out what it was. Her sister, before she passed away, would destroy literally anything that she thought she could get away with. Unless we get a bunch of people wanting it, Xylander, it'll be like an hour and 50 minutes. If it wasn't clams, I'd be like, sure, let's do it soon, but it's clam. Also, that moment when I think literally it was just Triggerfish in the rotation for League before I started my stream. I've been wanting to possibly see about starting them even sooner and going to the same end time. See, my problem isn't winning at Clam Blitz, it's just I hate the game mode. I'm S+, I can play it. I just don't want to. Ow. Yeah, I don't know where Nisa is, but I hope she's doing okay. Alright, Xylander, I do apologize, I don't like Clam Blitz. Ow. And I know while I'm kinda sick, I may not be as nice to it as I normally am. And I'm not normally very nice to that game mode. It legitimately makes me salty. Take that, Percival! I missed. Hit the wrong person! But it still worked out! Hello, OctoJ. Well, I mean, I responded to your bide. Xylander, have a good night. Ow. It's more, I kind of am refusing to play it because I don't want you guys to see me at, you know, saltiness this early in a stream. I mean, I'm already kind of playing not great. I don't want the brokenness of clams to make me more annoyed. I say that, and I think I'm more or less topped the game. What? How? Okay. I'm gonna be a meta sheep with terrible equipment for this. You know what? Let's... Dupe. No, I'll keep my normal stuff on. I just really hope this cold doesn't turn into anything worse, because I hate taking breaks from streaming. Like, it feels like every time I've done that, it's set me back like a good month or two when it comes to just, A, streaming in general, but B, like, growth with the channels. Like, before my last unintentional break thanks to depression, my Twitch was actually going decently well, and now the Twitch is to the point where I've honestly been considering not streaming to it anymore. Ow. I died to the poser. The disconnect was just someone being like, why am I playing this? And just disconnecting. Unless you mean you disconnected. In which case your Switch was just being like, why are we doing this? And was like, no, we're done. No more of this. Unbeknownst to the world, the Switch is very sentient. And knows when you're playing terrible game modes. Ow. Oh, that guy is going decently tryhard. Okay. I don't think that's enough main power-up, though, because I know my amount tech isn't enough, is it? I have 2 mains, 4 subs. He has 1 fewer sub than I have on my main power-up set. Man, I'm out of practice with this thing. Oh jeez, oh no, oh gee, oh I don't want to be located. I don't wish for my location to be known. That is not what I wish for. Oh jeez, that sniper really wants my booty. I mean, I get it's bound to be a pretty nice booty, but I don't know. Ow. At least it wasn't the one that was after my booty. It was just Mirai. I don't know. Maybe they're after it too. Who knows? What am I even talking about? I don't... Ow. I don't even know. See, it'd be kind of hard for me to be, you know, to say whether you do or not, Nautilus Man. The best thing I could say is if you think you have depression, to see about getting in to see, like, a therapist. Or just some sort of mental health professional. Because if, you know, in the off chance you do have it, it's something you should probably be having treated. It's not really something you should try and fight without treatment. I know that firsthand, because I'm still doing it, because mental health in Nova Scotia is a joke. Yeah, that sounds like the Clan Blitz experience. Just everyone went, why are we even playing this? And just quit. I think this lobby is almost at least half viewers, if not a little more. It's been a while since this happened. Oh, you said you were leaving. You're a liar. You know what we do to liars around here? We don't do anything. It's an inherently broken game mode. I will always stand by that. I cannot aim at anything or anyone. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Thank you, Mirai, for protecting me. Oh, jeez. I don't know why people think, or why Nintendo thought, I should say, that the Splattershot Pro needed damage up in any way. This fancy special I got here is more than enough to make this thing good. Ow. And nothing other than balance changes are ever going to change my mind on Clam Blitz. And honestly, the changes that I'd want made are minor changes that shouldn't affect the enjoyment of the game mode, except for making it a more positive experience. Ow. Like, removing the ability to throw clams while super jumping. Like that, I think everyone would agree is something that should have happened ages ago, because it's an inherently broken thing with no counterplay. Or every time you use a special, no matter what special it is, immediately dropping the ball instead of dropping it once the special is completed. And have it be no matter what special it is. Just every special, you drop it immediately. Could be ink armor, could be any of them. Just drop it immediately. That way no special is given special treatment. But it removes the abusability of ballers in that game mode. Like, just those two changes alone would be enough for me to give Clam Blitz a chance. Yeah, the penalties are weird. Though I've not noticed a big problem with them, but it does definitely feel like whichever team takes the initial lead, if they can't hold it, they're probably gonna lose. Because it's so much harder to actually fight your penalty down. Honestly, it's a game mode where I feel like instead of having a penalty, it should just have 150 points that you have to score. Like, I feel like that would solve the problem right there of having to balance out penalty. Hey, if you're getting tired, you go to sleep, Nautilus. I mean, let's face it, it's the thing I should probably be doing. It's the thing that Robotic probably wants me doing. But she hasn't said anything, so I don't know. I don't even know if she's noticed me mentioning I'm sick yet. Can't get at her though. She, you know, she has a lot of friends she talks with. Oh jeez. Damage! Robotic is my girlfriend. If you've only seen her here, she goes, her YouTube is Bill Cipher. Until she changes it again. Ow. Getting blapped in the face. This map, it's so much harder to tell where the laser sights are. Oh jeez. How did I survive that? I don't know. I'm a wizard. Ow. Why would you super jump to me? When will people learn never to do that? Oh jeez. My right Joy-Con disconnected there. She's also Bill Cipher on the Discord, I believe. I think she's still going by that name on there. I mean, really, the only thing that's been brought up is ways of making the game mode better. Alright, Dallas man, have a good night. Well, let's see. I'll go over the things I brought up, and then... I mean, you could probably still read what Mirai mentioned. Which I also offered a solution for, so I'll bring that up again, too. But basically, the removal of being able to throw the clams while super jumping. Just remove that entirely. It's not fun. It doesn't need to exist. It's just a broken thing with no counterplay. Because, well, it lets you throw clams while being completely invulnerable. Also have it be so that every time you use any special, the moment it starts, you drop whatever clams you've got. Those are my two big fixes I would want for Clam Blitz. If those were made, I'd probably play the game mode more. And then Mirai mentioning the penalty times had me thinking, well, maybe just remove penalties from Clam Blitz entirely. The game mode already feels vastly different from the others, so why not? And just increase the points you need to score to 150, 160. Just have there be a higher point cap that you need to reach. But why would I X up for wishing for something to not exist? That seems counterproductive. Ow. Yeah, apologize for that. I mean, as Clam Blitz is right now, yeah, I would kind of... I would honestly remove it from Splatoon. As it currently is. If they're not gonna balance it, removing it seems like the best option. And let's face it, they're not going to be balancing it. Anytime soon, anyway. It might get balanced for the next game if it's brought back, but with how the community has reacted to that game mode, I wouldn't hold your breath on it coming back. Which is kind of sad to say, but at the same time, it's pretty true. It's probably not coming back. Well, Samurai, I agree there. They are hard to use, but satisfying. Kind of like blasters. Oh, jeez. And I mean, I do honestly feel a bit bad for the people that do really like Clam Blitz. Because, well, it is not likely to come back unless Nintendo just really wants to keep the game mode around, for whatever reason. Because a vast majority of the vocal players, myself included, have expressed quite the amount of disdain for the game mode. It just wouldn't make sense to bring it back and possibly lose customers. Yep, GG's. Yeah, that's just the pain of using splashdowns. That'll happen a lot. Alright, Justin. Just to combat the little bit of coughing I'm doing, I'm gonna take a cough drop. Suppose having cough drops for streaming is that I have cough drops for when I get sick. Because that is another tip I will give to anybody who wants to get into streaming and such. And if your voice is not used to talking for a lot of hours, to just get some cough drops. They will legitimately help. And we're on the same team. The game does not want that. This is just gonna be the reverse of AI wanting to splat me. Well, not wanting to splat me, wanting to be on the same team. Just never happened. Ow. I should try and do a fun thing I used to do on this map a lot. But I won't say what it is, because then, you know, people know what I'm going to be doing. Anyone who's a long-time viewer already knows what I'm thinking about doing. So, ow. It almost seems like it's the most productive thing to be splatted after throwing a ink storm, because it lets you start charging your next ink storm Like, immediately. Instead of having to wait for the storm to wear off. Ow. So my only qualm with doing the thing that I used to do on this map a lot is I'm gonna have to switch to my undercover umbrella. And I feel bad using that in turf. With how many of you guys are here, I'm not gonna feel as bad. But I'm still gonna feel kinda bad. Hello, AI. The game. You've lost it, Cylander. Oh, you disconnected. You really did lose it. I'm gonna change weapons. Because all the turf is fun, but I really want to see if I can pull this off. You know what? I'm gonna go really old school on doing this too. Yeah, I'll keep these ones. I should go truly old school and dig out my old opening gambit things. I'll use the beret. Nah, I want this shirt. It looks better with the beret. Let's see if I can actually pull it off, if it actually even goes to Port Mackerel. And yeah, please don't spam things. It is technically against the rules. And it's Inkblot. I feel bad now. Ow. I'm just trying to do a fun thing on Port Mackerel, but the game's like, no Port Mackerel. It's like, but why? I just want Port Mackerel for like one game so I can see if I can pull it off. But the game's like, nah. You don't get that. Ow. GG's. Just know I feel bad. It is one of the worst weapons. Honest, it's one of the worst. I'm gonna give it like 2 matches to see if I can get Port Mackerel, and if I can't, I'm gonna switch off. And it's Inkblot again. Come into my house with my main Xylander and expect to win. Hello, Trixie, I believe your name would be. If I said it wrong, correct me. I am kind of sick. So, I'm gonna be worse at names than normal. Ow. It almost worked. Ow. A low point gallop my butt. That's what I get for overextending, though. Which is pretty common for me. I overextend a lot. Because, I mean, if you're not overextending, are you even playing? Hello, Detective Evil. Now, one more match to see if I can get Port Mackerel, and if not, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go back to a different weapon. Alright, Mirai. Alright, Detective Evil. And okay, Justin. Oh, I thought you might have been leaving. Guess not. I'm confused. Now, port mackerel. I want to try this. Yes! Okay. See if I can remember how to do this. I'm going to need to focus. And any longtime viewer knows exactly what I'm doing. My spot! Yes, I made it! I made it, and that's all that matters to me. Now all I need to do is defend the spot. Which is much easier said than done. Ow. Right there. I love doing that, but now there's no way I'm getting back. Well, there's not no way, but it's gonna be much harder. That is the kind of thing that only really works once. And probably if I wasn't so tired, I probably could have held on to that position for a lot longer. Because the thing is, now I don't have my opening gambit, and people are respawning. Ow. I mean, I honestly don't think rollers are that big of a deal on this stage. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Ow. See, going to those spots only matters, like, if the opposing team actually cares that you're there. Fair enough, Zylander. Now to switch off of this thing. Hello, Ben. Like, that type of strategy only works if the enemy team cares. But it also plays into, like, just human nature to want to splat people. Well, more, you know, to want to win. And to do that, you splat people. And, you know, then there's this one person that you're just constantly throwing yourself at because you're not, they're there, you want to splat them. That doesn't sound good, Ben. But I have done that strategy once, and I'm putting the undercover away. Wonder if I could pull it off with the splatter shot. Probably not. It doesn't really work with weapons that aren't the undercover, because you need that long line of turf. Yeah, I've already taken way too long, partially because I stopped the turf, but if that's made it over, you've taken way too long. Which is also why I use opening gambit for that. Alright, Zylander, have a good night. Assuming you're actually going this time. And yeah, I wish I could sympathize when it comes to kidney stones, but I really can't. Yeah, if you post something like that, I am going to just ban you. No advertising. Ow. Well, that's what children do. They look at people. Ow. Did I? I don't know. I don't usually pay that much attention to people's names. I might have. GG. I mean, I would trust him, I guess. I mean, my name is decently unique, so I mean... I kind of want to actually switch weapons to something I haven't used already. I more just panic switched back to the splatter shot. I have not listened to the tracks yet. I've been asleep. A lot. I do apologize for that. I want to get to them, I've been asleep. Yeah, heavy splatling. Yeah, I don't think there is any other BN steps, so I mean... I wonder if he was in the match I was on Port Mackerel. I don't know. The one where I actually managed to pull off my silly strat that just somehow works. I listened to that song from in-game, if it's the one I think it is. One of Banjo and Kazooie. I've played those games. Not a lot, but I have played them. Like, I've never beaten a Banjo and Kazooie game, because I kind of get a bit bored of just collectathons. I mean, they're fun games, but it's just so much collecting. I say that as someone who played the absolute crap out of Donkey Kong 64. To the point where I apparently knew where something was before the general community did. Like, you remember... anyone who knows this, remember back when the Donkey Kong 64 speedrunning community found out that there was a collectible they had been missing this entire time that was hidden under some grass in one of the areas? I found that as a kid because I noticed walking along that, hey, there's a bit of a raised up spot here. So I was seeing what that was about, and I figured out it was a collectible for, I think it was Diddy. Which is why when news broke of that, I was like, wait, what? How have you guys never found this? If, like, 5-year-old me could find it, what's you guys' excuse? Like, if they only found it because of, somebody basically teleporting to all the collectibles on... with, you know, an emulator using cheats. It's like, what? How? How are you guys that bad at this game, apparently? Hello, Retros. Oh, I should not. I should not do that. What I just did when talking about Donkey Kong 64. I'm feeling a bit lightheaded now. I don't know, Octo. I have not, and I probably won't. I don't tend to watch superhero movies that much. Even less so DC superhero movies. They're rarely ever good. I think the last superhero movies I watched, well, superhero movie, was Planet Hulk. I think that was the last one I watched. It's a good movie. Good movie, better comics. But that's just to be expected. Especially because, you know, Planet Hulk leads into World War Hulk, and both of those comic series are just amazing. Alright, Octo. See, that's kind of where Detective Evil, I would suggest you take a peek at, like, Planet Hulk. Because it will feel different, because it doesn't follow the superhero trend. It literally starts with the Hulk being blasted into space, away from Earth, because, well, he's the Hulk. And Oh god. Reed, Tony Stark. Oh god, who were the others? Basically, the big four scientists decided that, no, we can't have the Hulk on the Earth anymore. He's too much of a danger to everybody. Let's just blast him into space. And he was not happy about this. Understandably. He sent his rocket ship off course, and that ended him up on, I forget the name of the planet, because it's been a while since I watched the movie, read the comics. But he ended up on a planet that basically was ruled by a dictator, and he was forced to take part in gladiatorial battles. And I won't say more than that, because it'll spoil the movie. It's also a really short movie. I kind of wish it was given, like, the 2 hours that normal movies are given, but it's only, like... If I remember right, it's only, like, an hour long. If even that. And I am also a Nerd Retros, but... No, but the Joker's movie would still fall into the category of superhero movie. It's gonna follow a lot of the same cliches. Ow. I wish I could just suggest to you some good DC comics, but I don't remember any real good ones from the past, like, decade. So... all I could say is just avoid everything New 52, and you'll probably have a decent time with DC Comics. I say decent because most of their modern comics very likely still suck. But as long as it's not New 52, you know. Ow. I mean, that is a pretty good reason to not let you see the movie. I mean... rated R generally means 18 plus. Yep, GG. Alright, Octo, have a good night. I mean, I'm just gonna come out here and say it. If I ever had a kid, I probably wouldn't let them watch rated R movies before at least they were 16-ish. So... to be fair, that could just mean nobody's talking about it. Especially because, well, Deadpool already did that, and it's not going to be as big of a shock to just have an actor's just arse in your face for like 5 minutes. Ow. I mean, it is understandable, but it's also equally understandable why your parents would not want you to see the movie. I mean, the movie, in its rating, is outright saying, basically, it's inappropriate for someone of your age. So... oh, geez, why would you do that? Okay, you survived. I'm impressed. Well, you died immediately afterwards, Justin, but why super jump to me? Like, ever. And you doing it again? You just have a death wish, don't you, Justin? Ow. He just really has a death wish. You know what? It's fine. You know. It's just a prerequisite of being a member of Brave. Oh, jeez. Ow. Hello, Acid Chameleon. I mean, that might not be the easiest thing for him to do, Rand. I'm just bouncing through various weapons. I should just stick with one for a while. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to... you know what? Regular Splat Pro. I mean, you can keep doing it, but you're gonna die a lot, Justin. It's just gonna happen. Because when aren't I in over my head? I mean, this was my main before I picked up the undercover. And then the moment I picked up the undercover, I became just garbage with this thing. Ow. Case in point. That Jet Sculpture had a very productive trade. And then had a very unproductive life. This seems like one of the worst Stingray maps. Like, just in general. Like, even imagining Stingray is at the peak of its power, this still seems like a very bad Stingray map. But Port Mackerel is also very clearly a good Stingray map. So I suppose that's just kind of the trade-off you get. Okay, I will get to the friend request after this match. Ow. I should have just backed into the corner. I might have lived. Ow. I apologize that I'm kind of more low energy than normal. But as I just learned with my short rant over the amazingly hidden secret in Donkey Kong 64 that the speedrunning community didn't know about until very recently, if I was as, you know, high energy as normal, I would be very lightheaded right now. Which, I don't know, might make for a better stream, but much worse gameplay. I already can't aim. So, you know. GG's. You know, how funny would it be if when using the Splattershot Pro it took your aiming reticule away? That would be hilarious to me. I mean, it's a pro weapon. What do you need an aiming reticule for? Yeah, gonna grab the friend request, just so everyone knows not to continue. Hope I said that soon enough. Darn it. Well, I mean, this has to go a match before you guys can reliably get in anyway, so it's not the biggest loss. There's somebody here using an undercover. I feel like I should switch back to mine and show them what for. But I won't, because I said I'm going to stick with this. So I'm going to stick with this, darn it. Oh, excuse me. Getting a bit gassy for some reason. That guy is not having good luck with his Ultra Stamp. To be fair, it is more than just that dictates the R rating. There are a lot of things that go into the rating of a movie. Like, for instance, you could have a perfectly G-rated movie, but if somebody drops a single F-bomb, it's now immediately rated PG-13. If they drop 2, it's immediately teen. Same as, like, if the movie has, well, a lot of quote-unquote grotesque violence to it, it'll automatically be either for mature audiences or R. That's just how the rating system works. I mean, that's been a common joke for a while. It's like, if they ever have Deadpool in, like, an Avengers movie or something, they should have it PG-13 and then have him going the entire movie waiting for that perfect moment to drop the F-bomb, and then someone else beats him to it. Which would be kind of funny. Won't happen, but it would be funny. Yep, saw that, Justin. I'm gonna booyah, 'cause I don't think I did already, but I'm gonna do it again even if I haven't. Ow. Think I can't fight my own main, you random person? I wouldn't be overly confident in fighting them without my, without either having an advantage or my ink storm ready. Hello, stretchy boy. Yeah, if spaces don't reliably open up in this room, I might go to another one. Like, if only 2 spaces have ever opened in it, kind of thing. Yeah, well, if the movie itself is rated R, then it doesn't really matter what people online say. Because your mother would have no way of knowing if those people are lying or not. So... Ow. Oh, well, if you're here in 3 days, remind me and I'll wish you a happy birthday. In case you weren't, happy early birthday. I can watch anything as well, Detective Evil. Which is why generally my gauge of whether I watch a movie or not is if it looks interesting. If it looks interesting and reviews are good. Which is why, like, have a good night, Rand. But, like, when the Captain Marvel movie got first announced, I was like, hey, I might watch that. I remember reading the Captain Marvel comics, like, way back when I was younger. And I kind of liked them. And then I started seeing the things that the actress was saying, and it was, oh god, no. No, not watching that. Not even considering that. I will not watch a movie where the lead actress would absolutely hate me. Or even the lead actor. Ow. Basically, the actress Brie Larson is, without going into detail, because I'd be paraphrasing, and I don't exactly want to paraphrase when it comes to things like this, but the best way to put it is she is the most anti-male SJW actress you will find. And the SJW community clung to her because of this. Ow. Which led to the, if you don't like the movie, you're sexist. Even though, from everything I've heard, the movie itself is also just not good. I can't say I've not watched it. I refuse to watch it. For obvious reasons. Ow. Ow. I still find it funny how that was the movie that made, like, Rotten Tomatoes remove their want-to-watch category. Because there was too many people being negative towards it. Ow. Because it's so bad that people, you know, want to voice their opinion. You don't get, you know, you don't see the opposite of that. Yep, GG. Like, I get it would honestly seem a bit silly if you ended up removing the want-to-watch category because too many people were excited for a movie. But in a way, you did the same thing. Jeez, it shouldn't have a delay that long. So I'm gonna change weapons. The delay should be around like 5 to 8 seconds. I'm gonna stick with a Splat Pro, but I'm gonna change. Actually, I might not stick with Splat Pro. I'm gonna go bucket. I'm gonna go try sloshing. I'm gonna try sloshing. Bad joke is bad. It might just be your connection. Chameleon. Either that or YouTube randomly decided to delay your feed ever so slightly. Like, where the stream's been going on for an hour and a half, it would be hard to tell. But occasionally YouTube will stutter your video, so you'll be slightly behind where the stream actually is. It's weird. Yeah, it seems closer to the normal. At that point, it does sound like it's probably just your connection to the YouTube servers. Ow. Oh, hey, it's an uwu. You always find one. Ow. Ran out of ink. Ow. That is a very broad term. Be careful what you wish for. You might be given a 1,000-year egg. Which is exactly what it sounds like, and is supposedly a delicacy in China. I say supposedly, because I doubt even Chinese people enjoy eating them. Ow. I am not doing good with the Tri-Slosher. I don't do good with buckets in general. I'm turfing good, I'm just not doing anything else good. Case in point. It's insulting to me that that person has quick respawn on an undercover umbrella. If they are not comfortable in their ability to splat before being splatted, they should not be using it. It literally has more health than every other weapon by technicality, because it has a shield. Should not be using a Tri-Slosher. I'm gonna keep using it anyway, because I accidentally pushed just A. I meant to switch weapons. Oh well! This is my life now. I mean, you can use one if you want. I'm bad with them. Well, that's about, like I said, I'm good at turfing with them, but that's about it. Alright, Detective Evil. We have Nespion here. Debatably the best evolution. I say debatably because Sylveon's about on equal footing. I mean, they're both, I think, only Yu, so I mean, it's not like they're great Pokemon, but, you know. Espeon is tied for the highest speed of any Gen 2 Pokemon, though. So, you know, there is that. I also like Umbreon more, but I also like Toxic Stalling. So... And then I know people hate Toxic Stalling in competitive Pokemon. And I'm going to, just right now, explain my reasoning for why I run a Toxic Staller. Usually on every team. If your team cannot handle a Toxic Staller, it's a badly made team. Legitimately, there are many Pokemon in every tier that can fully counter a Toxic Staller. All they need to be is Poison or Steel type. And right there, you have countered the Toxic Stall. Now, in Monotype, I hate Toxic Stallers. Because normal types do not have an answer to them. There is nothing in the normal type category that is either part Steel or part Poison. You have no recourse for dealing with them. And I've pointed that out to a few people, and they've been like, oh, geez, I didn't know that. I will stop using this Toxic Staller now. Alright, Retros. Have a good night. And like, I've even brought up my reasoning to a few decently competitive, like, UU players, because that's where Umbreon is. And that's where I do the most Toxic Stalling, is with Umbreon. Because it's just the best for it. And, like, they usually take it worse than the more casual competitive players do. What I mean by casual competitive is just people that are just playing around and not actually trying to grind their way up the ladder any on Pokemon Showdown. Oh, we have beacons. I may as well... Oh, these are horrible beacons. They smell of rotten cheese. Ow. What am I even talking about? But yeah, that is definitely a thing I've noticed with big competitive players in Pokemon. And even like the middle of the road competitive players. If you present them with something that, you know, is really powerful but their team was not prepared for, you are the worst person ever and you're garbage and you're relying on horrible strategies and it's the worst and you should be banned. But if you go up against like a fully casual player, they'll more often be impressed that you just swept their team with nothing but toxic. I almost hit... Nope, I want to change weapons. Oh, my brain is not with me tonight. Let's go back to the splash. This is a horrible idea. But, like, I don't know off the top of my head what, like, all of the big threats of each metagame are. But I know in general, outside of, like, Ubers and OU, a Toxic Staller will almost always be useful. And the only reason why they wouldn't be in OU, it was UU for a while, is because Gliscor exists. Gliscor is the ultimate way of getting around Toxic Stallers, because you toxicking him heals him. Gliscor is awesome. Gliscor should have never been in UU. I wish I had things to spend my money on in-game. Evil. Thing is, I don't ever scrub gear. It's just, in my position anyway, where I have over 100 snails, it's just more efficient to just re-roll it. Because you still get the chunks, but you don't have to grind through the gear all over again. Ow. Ow. I should have just backed off. A lot of people don't know that you get the chunks from scrubbing your, not from scrubbing, but re-rolling your gear. So it's fine. I didn't even know it at first. I just assumed the chunks would be lost, but no, you still get them. And I tested it by literally scrubbing a thing, looking at my chunks, then scrubbing another thing, and it's not scrubbing, but re-rolling. Bleh. Anytime I say scrub, I probably mean re-roll. My brain is kind of fuzzy tonight. I think you're lagging, Justin. I feel like I'm about to just explode any second now. Ow. GG's. Yeah, I mean, I think I have the ability of streaming at a decently high resolution. I don't know actually what the highest resolution my stream goes to is. Using a Clash Blaster? Like, if my TV and the Switch were capable of it, I think with the internet we've got, I could theoretically stream at 4K. Ah, Google us. I don't find Google as that bad. Well, like, that good, I should say. There's a lot of explosions. Alright, have a good night, Chameleon. Because see, the thing is, unless you do the dodge roll with Googleas, they're not very accurate, and they still take 3 shots to kill. With the dodge roll, it's only 2, and they're a bit more accurate. Ow. But, like, the Clash is just oppressive, especially for the Splash. Because I share a range with the Clash. To fight it, I have to be within its range, and it splats faster than I do. Yeah, and it was on me. I am not bamboozling. My brain is already bamboozled. I don't need to bamboozle others. Ah, you guys had disconnect. I just noticed that. I don't know how long they've been disconnected for, but they're disconnected. Feeling a bit bad now. I would consider bamboozling if I had, like a full main power set. But that's purely because it's such a silly thing. Now we'll get to that friend request after the next match. Because there is not enough time now for people to back out if they're trying to join. Yeah, just a reminder for everyone, after this match, I will be backing out. Oh, why would you be named that? Why would you be named that, level 47? If you guys don't know what that name is referenced to, don't look it up. Protect your innocence. It falls into the category, I have seen things that I wish I hadn't. Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, they have rudimentary AI that can play battles. They've made that decently obvious. I mean, it's not good, but no AI is going to be. Not at a shooter, anyway. A strategy game, yeah, but that's because strategy is something you can program. It becomes remarkably harder to program into a 3D space like this. Which is partially why the AI in single player is usually stationary. Because that's pretty easy to make an AI work with. Give them set parameters to fight within, they can fight. Ow. to hit the 1 minute mark. I just want to remind people I'm going to be backing out of this match after this was done to get to a friend request. I wish I could just accept it from in-game. That'd be so nice. Not like in-game, like in a match. Or even just in the lobby, just like the queue. Like, that would be great. Like, but no, disconnect. Except when I want to disconnect from the lobbies, it won't let me disconnect from them. Ow. Backing out. Once it lets me. GG's. Suction Bomb Rush is still one of the best specials, if not the best. I will forever stand by that. It's just so oppressive. Because Ink Mines deal 30 damage, and that's usually enough damage to splat people. Ah, another Japanese player. Well, assumably Japanese player. I'm gonna change weapons really quick first. Alright, Detective Evil. Looks like maps are about to rotate. Let's see. No, wrong thing. I want that. And that. And that. And these. So we're probably only going to get maybe 2 more matches before the map rotation. Alright, Justin. I'm gonna go as long as my brain will allow me to. Well, I say brain, my body. This cold. I mean, the longer I've been going, the more lightheaded I'm getting, so it's not a great sign for longevity in the stream, but, you know. Ow. Ow. So bad at this. I keep accidentally moving after my dodge roll. Ow. Maybe the internet's changed a bit then. I'll put it that way. I mean, fair enough. At this point, I have 2, but it's still something that would be great to be able to unsee. You know, seeing that little level 28 there just remind me of something I kind of want to do at some point, just to see how confused people get, even though I would never know how confused they actually were. To put my, like, you know how that's undoubtedly a Discord tag? Just put my BattleNet tag, because they're in the same format. Though I don't really ever use my BattleNet, so I wouldn't know if anyone tried it in BattleNet without actually having it open. But I haven't played any of my games on BattleNet in so long that, yeah, I would never know. Partially because anytime I open BattleNet, I become very tempted to play StarCraft, and I just really should not play StarCraft anymore. Because I just know that if I get back into playing StarCraft 2, I'm gonna get bitten by the competitive bug again, and I'm gonna want to go back to playing competitively. Which is just not a good idea. Ow. Alright, have a good night. Detective Evil. Ow. Give me 2 more points. I need all the points. Seems my viewer count is falling off a cliff earlier tonight than normal. Wait, it's Monday, isn't it? No, it's Sunday night. Yeah, that would also explain it. I've actually managed to piece together some rather, in my opinion, interesting metrics after having streamed as long as I have. There are just times where streaming just does not work well. Like, the viewership is just not there. And leave it to me to be streaming during those times. So I'm willing to bet it's either because there's either, for me anyway, just bigger streamers also streaming. Or it's just a bad time. Both of which are very likely. It might just be both. Because that is also a very big possibility. Yeah, now it's tower control, so if anyone wants to do League, just let me know and I'll do some tower control. I should actually be getting a little bit of blaster practice, so I'm gonna feel a little bad and use a blaster in Turf War with a high swim speed kit. I'm gonna feel like the worst. But I already feel terrible, so I mean, just I'll be feeling terrible in a different way. I'm so lightheaded. I don't think the stream's gonna go much more than another half hour to an hour. I'm gonna try and push it longer, though. Especially because if this gets any worse between, like, now and tomorrow's stream, there may not be a stream tomorrow, so I want this one to be long, darn it! Ow. What are you doing way over there, David? Oh, jeez. My brain did not click fast enough that my feet were covered. No, that is out of ink. No. I'm playing so terribly. This is my first match with a blaster in quite a while, so I'm gonna be pretty bad. Yeah, for now. It happens. Viewership dies occasionally. This is kinda early, but given it's Sunday night, it's understandable. During the summer, it wouldn't die until about an hour from now. But with school in, it's gonna be dying about now until winter break happens. On Sunday nights. Monday nights are equally as bad. Tuesday nights it dies a little later. Wednesday nights a little later. Thursday nights a little later. Friday nights it usually stays pretty solid. But that also might just be the Yu-Gi-Oh community likes watching streams of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh so they can go and kick their butts. Saturday tends to be pretty hit or miss. And as I've already said, Sunday it tends to die pretty early. Yeah, jeez. And now I have 2 viewers. Apparently. My first match with a blaster in a long time. That wasn't the worst. Could have been much better, but it wasn't the worst. Oh, so hello, Tran. I don't remember if I said that or not, but hello. And AI is still around. I wish I could do a proper E, but I cannot. No E will ever be as good as Jimble's. When he did it on an art stream with Hardleg Joe, it just like reverberated through everyone's souls. I don't know, they just said that, so assumably. I mean, they said like 2 minutes ago. I can feel myself bobbing around a bit. Jeez, I'm getting lightheaded. I'm still very aware of what's going on, though, so that means I'm not too sick to still be streaming. That is literally my gauge. Am I still aware of what's going on around me? Which is a pretty hard thing for me to not be. As I have learned from getting what would be blackout drunk for most people, but no, I was still very aware of everything around me. I still remember that night. It can be. It can also be very stressful for introverts like me. Ow. But yeah, let me be a good example and lesson to anyone out that is watching that has mental issues. Don't drink. Or if you do drink, make sure it is incredibly regulated. I had one night where Well, I say night. It was early morning. Night for me, because I sleep days. Where I started basically having a breakdown, and my brain's reaction was drink. I had like 1.5 liters of whiskey. By the time I was done, that was gone. And this was high percentage whiskey. And I was still very aware of everything that was happening. And, like, I wasn't watering the whiskey down with anything, either. I was just straight drinking it. Much to my best friend's dismay when he found out what was going on. I also didn't have a hangover from that. I also can't stand the smell of alcohol at all anymore. I basically drank myself to the point where I cannot drink anymore. I feel honestly really bad for my best friend, because, I mean, he's in the UK. He literally woke up to having to deal with me having a mental breakdown while drinking copious amounts of alcohol. And, like, I know that I can't drink past that after... Like, I've tried multiple times since then to drink, and I just cannot do it. Ow. Yeah, that is generally my advice these days. I've had a few of them in there, and that have... They mean it in a very joking way, that have called me an idiot for what I did. Especially because I was legitimately logged into EVE at the time. I could have just poked into the actual, like, Broadcaster Reps chat channel and just started talking with a few of them. But no, my brain went drink. Drinking solves all the problems. It doesn't. Oh jeez, getting stuck on things. Helplines can sometimes be pretty hard to find. Ow. Which is why I never fault anybody for coming to, like, me or Broadcaster Reps or just turning to a friend. Is because helplines can sometimes be hard to find and kind of useless as well. Because they only have so many phones. Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm hoping everything's okay. I don't want to assume what's wrong. To be honest, I have been for the longest time. I'm extremely worried. I mean, once again, I don't want to assume anything. But it definitely sounds like, you know, her home life and school life are less than ideal. I'm playing so badly. It does honestly seem like it would be great if she could get in to see like a therapist or something. But that's gonna take her doing it. Or wanting it, I should say. Because even like if her parents were to just go, no, you're going to see a therapist, it wouldn't do any good. Unless she wants it. It won't help. Yeah, bullies tend to be, honestly, one of the biggest causes of depression in young people. They also tend to be depressed themselves. It becomes even worse when it was a, you know, previous friend, because the human brain can't really comprehend that. Not easily. I mean, it would basically be the same as, imagine if tomorrow I started just being a right arsehole to you. You'd probably be wondering what you did wrong. Even if it's just, you know, I'm just being an arsehole. That's how the human brain reacts to that sort of thing. It's not, that person changed, it's, what have I done wrong? That's why a lot of people end up staying in abusive relationships, is because their brain can't comprehend it. Yeah, and I wouldn't blame you. Good thing I'm not one. Often. I can be when it's warranted. A good example is something that even happened in the stream at one point, where some girl and her older brother both joined, and somebody was seabagging, and she really did not like it, and was asking them to stop, and they were just doing it more. To which her older brother stepped in and said, "Oh, just calm down, it's just a game," to I told him off because of that. When it's warranted, I will be a complete arse. If something is making someone upset, I'm not gonna just tell them, oh, just deal with it. And if I see someone doing that, I will tell them off for it. But I'm also probably a bit overprotective of all of you. Just a bit. Is it that time of year already? Oh, jeez, I'm gonna die. Yep. How? Hello, Colby Oshwat. Yes, you can. Just add me as a friend on your Switch. My friend code is in the bottom left corner of the screen, or in the info section. However you get to that. If you're on mobile, I don't know. Ow. Do they have 2 ink armor users? They must, because, yeah, they do. The gold dynamo. Okay. Yeah, momentum. Ah, thanks for following, Colby. Oh, jeez. Out of ink. And I shall back out and grab your friend request right after this match ends. I shall try and remember that AI. I may not do the best at remembering that, but I shall try. And also, just to explain, if you've not seen it before, Colby, the restream bot is to tell who's saying what. Look in the brackets. It'll say YouTube and who's saying it. Hello, Arshia. I'm going to accept your friend request, and then I shall quickly be right back because I have to use the washroom. I might take a little longer than I normally would because I'm a little lightheaded. So I shall quickly be right back. Okay, I am back. Well, if your friends would make fun of you for buying a Switch, they don't know what a good gaming system is. It is... I forget which is the right word. Subjectively? Objectively? The one that doesn't mean definitively, but it's basically the best game system out on the market. At least that's my opinion. I think subjective means fact. Objective. Yeah, it's objectively the best gaming system on the market. There we go. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, there should be space, hopefully. There normally is. It's pretty rare that there won't be space. So. Yeah, I'm chilly now. I hate moving when I'm sick, because then I feel chilly when I sit back down. It's just a cold. It really should not be even affecting me as much as it is. But it is! Because, yay, bad immune system. I mean, maybe. I'll probably be mostly sick for about a week there, Colby, but thanks. I don't get over even colds quickly at all. Ow. I mean, with my sleep schedule the way it is already, it would seem like I'd be, you know, having my butt handed to me by jet lag, but I probably wouldn't be. Because I think all I'd have to do is minus a couple hours from the time I'm at now. So honestly, I think it would just mean I'd be awake throughout the day a little more than I normally am. Because if I ever go anywhere, I'm not changing my sleep schedule. Not unless I absolutely have to. Like, if I was going to, like, some convention, then yeah, I'd probably be jet-lagged. But it's more, I'm just not awake at that time normally. There are some places in the world, if I were to visit, I would be perfectly fine. Like, say, visiting, like, Japan. I'd be okay with that. My sleep schedule is already matched up to the Japanese time. Fair enough, Colby. It looks like you got in. Honestly, I have both streams running just so people can watch wherever they prefer to watch. If you prefer YouTube, watch on there. Prefer Twitch, watch on there. You have options. My healthcare is almost non-existent. I don't have a family doctor. So basically, unless I'm dying, I don't have healthcare. Nova Scotia has a doctor shortage. A pretty bad doctor shortage, and it's had it for many years. Partially because every time we get a doctor, they seem to, either they or their partner will end up getting a job offer somewhere else, and they'll go and take that instead. Ow. Like my mother, who has, I think it's called COPD. It's a lung disease. She is now without a family doctor again because her family doctor moved, basically. And it's absolutely frustrating to me. Like, honestly, that lady should feel very glad that I didn't actually manage to get on as one of her patients, because I would have told her off for leaving. Like, so what? They're going to be making a ton of money after moving. You're already making likely comfortable 6 figures, which is more than most people in this area, and you're a doctor, for goodness sake. You're a doctor who in an area that has a doctor shortage. How could they in good conscience just leave? If all they care about is the money, they should just stop being a doctor. Plain and simple. Ow. And I mean, basically from what it was described to me, it isn't even so much the doctor herself got a better paying position. It was her husband. I don't know what Ontario is like, so I've never been there. I've never left Nova Scotia. But I did go from Digby, where I grew up, where I had a family doctor for only about the first 10 years of my life, to the town I'm in now, where I still don't have a family doctor. At the very least, when we lost the family doctor when I was younger, it was because he retired. He was literally so old he had to retire. Like... And I will say, this can be an example to any foreigners, mostly Americans, that are like, oh man, Canada has such good healthcare. It really doesn't unless you're in an area that has family doctors for everybody. Otherwise, it is just horrible. Because, like, anything you would need an appointment for, you cannot get without a family doctor. Like, just an easy example I'll use. I ended up banging my right knee up pretty bad when I was a kid. And now my right knee hurts quite often. For seemingly no reason. I've probably damaged it when I was a kid because it was never looked at when I was younger. I'd like to have it looked at. See if there is anything wrong with it that might be able to be fixed so that I'm not in pain quite often. But I can't, because I have no family doctor. Ow. Like, another thing to even note when it comes to my knee is, like, if I sit with my legs crossed, like, you know, they'd make you do in school, my right leg will fall asleep from the knee down. If my knee stays bent for too long, my lower leg will fall asleep. Only my right leg, though. And I mean, there's a myriad of things it could be. A lot of them are very fixable. A few of them aren't. Like, if it comes down to, like, I just still have a rock lodged in my knee, then, yeah, that is very fixable. Would mean at this point that any bone in my leg has probably grown around it. But it's undoubtedly not a very big rock if there is one there, so... So I do apologize for getting on to kind of a less than appealing topic. Come on, little undercover. That's what you get! Bring an undercover into my house! And yeah, just a reminder, if anyone wants to do league battles, just let me know. And I shall set up a league lobby for the appropriate number of players. But I don't think we have enough for a 4 anyway. Ow. It's fine that you don't really text while playing, Colby. I don't expect people to. I don't expect people to really chat at all. Only do it if you feel like it. Level 88. The most important level for an Octoling. And I would say part of your team's problem was just I'm getting into my groove with the blaster, and that point gal was rather good. Oh, we have a small boy here. Oh, excuse me. No, so I feel I should note, in case any of my Yu-Gi-Oh viewers are here watching, I have learned that Senka can actually kind of hold its own against rogue decks, which tells me that it'll probably end up being a rogue deck, assuming the support we have now is where it stops. If we get more that gives the deck some quick effects, it will probably be pretty meta. And I learned that earlier from technically fighting a meta deck, but I'd consider it myself more of a rogue deck, of Altergeist. I out-grinded an Altergeist deck. Which, for anyone that knows anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! And Altergeist, would know how impressive that is. They're literally the definition of a grind deck. They use a bunch of traps to slow the game down to where they want it to be. Ow. Hate splashdowns. Whoop. Thought I closed the map, but I didn't. That point gal is really good. I am also doing very badly. Don't think I managed to pull the team back far enough. Oh no, apparently I did. Basically my only splats are right at the very end. Jeez. And that's what I get for hyper-focusing. I think I've only got another 15 minutes left in me. I'll go like 3-4 more matches. I have color lock on. I am colorblind, for those who do not know. So I play with color lock on, so I can tell most of the time what's going on. Splat bombs tend to mess me up, though, when it's coming from the blue team to yellow. I can't usually tell when a splat bomb is not my color. But that's only when I'm on yellow team. Blue, I'm pretty good. They're not going to, person. Nintendo currently has no incentives to ever bring back Splatfests. Ow. It would just be too much work. Too much work for too little payout. So lightheaded, jeez. That point gal on the other team, I really feel like I should be focusing instead of trying to keep chatting. Or I could say it the condescending way I'd usually do, if I could actually be trying instead of... Because that is kind of how I see it. I'm either in chatting mode or trying mode. And most of the time while streaming, I tend to just not really try. Ow. Which is very condescending to say, but it's still kind of true. Ow. I think I might actually have to stop after this match. I'm so lightheaded. I need to just kind of lie down for a bit. So I think that will be it. I will note for anyone who's new here, there is a Discord, should you wish to join it. It's linked in the description of YouTube in the info section on Twitch. Unless I'm feeling just completely not up for it, I will be back streaming tomorrow. It'll probably be Splatoon again, because this is just the easiest thing for me to do while I'm sick. If I'm not sick, though, it'll probably be something completely different. I don't know what it'll be, but I'll announce whatever it is on the Discord. That's also the most reliable way of getting a notification as to when I go live, is the Discord. But with that all said, thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully I shall see you here tomorrow for more Splatoon, or streaming in general. See you all then.